my whole time vlogging, I always felt like I was aiming to make my like 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20. And when I look at your, I see you just doing like hour 20 long vlogs. And I'm like, oh, like if you got the and the fan base to actually do that, the fans will go along on the ride with you, right? Or do you think there's a value in making your shorter, or do you feel like a hour-long video serves the same purpose?
I feel like nowadays, if you make a great, well, for monetization purposes, you make that hour-long video, you're getting way more money. But
yeah, nowadays
with TikTok and people's attention span being way shorter, if you make a good short video, it's like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know if it's gonna get the views and people gonna watch throughout the whole thing, but why make a 15-minute video and people watch the whole 15 minutes versus me making an hour video and people watching 30 minutes? I'm basically getting double the pay from what I would get for the 15-minute video. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, when we were talking about that like thrift shop trend or whatever, but what do you see as like the dominant trends, and do you have to stop yourself from participating in some of them? Because like the 20 versus 1 thing is like the current thing that's kind of taken over the internet, and to such an extent that I don't even know like the exact details, but somebody got pistol whipped over 20 versus 1 beef while filming a Krishan Rock 20 versus 1 video in Atlanta. You probably know the people involved in this. I don't know them, but I mean, that's kind of wild that like this one concept could be so hot that multiple different camera crews or YouTubers would be basically beefing over who's able to do this content.
That was never really like, I don't really necessarily, that's me. I don't think that's me. I don't really, like I said, go for trends. I want to create a trend. And as far as like making content with a group of people, that ain't me either. Like, I want to just go out there and do my own thing, because it sound bad, but I don't really like people like that. So like me working with, okay, 20 girls and 1 artist or something, it's like, one thing go wrong, I just want to leave. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, care for that. Because,
all right, what you have going for yourself is that you can get hundreds of thousands of views off of just being you. A lot of the people who are doing the 20 versus 1, let's be real, it's like if they weren't doing that, they would basically be getting no views. It's like, it's a concept and a thumbnail concept that's like attractive enough to people that you could just pop off with it without them even really giving about you, which is, I'm almost kind of describing No Jumper as well right now, because it's like obviously our views fluctuate load based on who we're talking to, and then we have like our weekly podcasts that, you know, tend to have like more stable view counts. But there's definitely a lot of people out there. It's kind of like the diamond tester shit too. I feel like I've seen so many people doing the diamond tester thing that it don't even really matter who's doing it. People just like the idea of the concept, so they'll watch whoever doing it.
It's like 2 sides of YouTube, where you got that people that has that authentic support base that wants to watch them, and you got that side of YouTube too, where people just want to watch the content they're creating, such as the 20v1s or the pranks or the challenges and stuff like that. So it's like, it's really up to you. If you want to be a vlogger and you want to build that strong support base, go do that. But if you don't care about that and you just want money, go do what everybody else is doing. It's easy to blow up. I mean, it's not easy to blow up, but it's easier to blow up doing that. And I would use MrBeast as a good example. Like, of course, people love MrBeast, but they watch him for his crazy content. I don't think he necessarily cares about the support he gets, because he's getting everything else he's getting. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, he's someone who realized that you kind of need to like hijack the attention span on YouTube. And if you can make it so that there's a switch up in the editing every second or 2 seconds, that's going to keep the fans engaged. And watch a MrBeast video and just think to yourself, like, what is he doing to keep me engaged in this? And you'll notice a lot of different little things happening, because it's all about keeping you, you know, held down to it. The question is like, is MrBeast the person really like a superstar? And I mean, I definitely think he's a star, but it's the question of like could there be like a blockbuster MrBeast movie? I don't know. That's like the ultimate ask, getting people to go to a theater and pay for it.
I think it would.
He allegedly has like a game show coming on Amazon Prime, and I think that's going to be the biggest test of like, will his audience follow him to another platform?
I feel like if you can master YouTube, you could damn near master anything. Because once you master YouTube, like I said, YouTube is probably one of the hardest platforms to grow on. Everything else just seems easier. It's easier to grow on Instagram. It's easier to grow on TikTok, Twitch. Like, YouTube is just that hard platform to grow on.
Do you put time into TikTok and shorts and reels and all that type of
stuff? I post on TikTok every now and then, but I don't really focus or care about it.
kind of weird. Like I have people email me, like multiple people per day, trying to get me to like give them money to make shorts out of our content, even though we already have multiple employees who do that. But I feel like that kind of is like basically like the way you come up these days, like is just by people getting more familiar with you through the short form content. But it's also like, it's hard to accept that now has to be part of your workflow when you're used to making vlogs that just straight up make money from day one. And like basically the TikTok and the reels and all that shit earns you like almost nothing.
TikTok and real shit is like a lot of people don't know, but why would I go pay somebody to do it when there's people already out here doing it? And those people that are doing it, that's getting the views, are making hella money off of the content they posting of me or you or whoever the creator is. So it's like, people out here doing it, getting paid. I'm not gonna necessarily say, okay, everybody go make a shorts channel or TikTok and just flood content. Like, no, but if you're doing it, y'all know the money that's in that. So it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily go out and pay a group of people to do that for me.
Yeah, because people hit me all the time asking me to pay them to do that. But then when I look at TikTok, all I see is myself. And granted, it's because the algorithm is tuned to like show me myself because I watch shit that I'm on. But I mean, yeah, like when I see some random guy who took a little chunk of the podcast and got 2 million views off of just highlighting something funny or something weird, I'm like, oh, on one hand, thank you, because you definitely brought some attention to my, even if you didn't tag us and you could barely see me or whatever. But like at the same time, it's like, I'm probably not going to pay someone to do that. But I can understand how somebody who's brand new or doesn't have a fan base, it would make sense for them to pay somebody, you know?
For sure that. If you don't have a solidified support base, I would for 1,000% say, go invest into yourself and getting them clip pages and them TikTok pages, because a TikTok can blow up overnight like this, and that's hella attraction to whatever platform you want it to.
You don't, or do you edit your own stuff?
Yeah, I edit everything.
Every vlog? Wow, really? Is there part of you that wants to get an editor? Because I feel like that would be the ultimate thing that would clear up time in your life, right?
People always tell me, why don't you get an editor? Why don't you get like a set cameraman? I feel like it won't be authentic when it gets to that point. Like I'm sitting here editing my own videos. I'm taking out everything I want to take out, putting clips I want to put in. Like it make it more Quan versus I get an editor, he do this. Like for instance, majority of people that get editors, they edit like MrBeast style. It's hella cuts, hella words, hella pop-ups. It's like, I don't want that. I want authentic.
I feel like you could almost have like another channel where you have like a 10-minute version of all of your hour-long videos. Because that
would probably go crazy.
It would be like totally different styles of content. I wonder which one would be more popular, honestly.
I ain't gonna lie, the shorter form content would probably blow like crazier than the long form content channel, but I would say the long form content channel will for sure bring more money.
You started as a streamer. What do you think when you look at somebody like Kai or Speed or all these dudes who are just blowing up doing the streaming thing? What's your thought on that? Because like they're kind of doing the same thing as you. You're just doing it and then editing it and then putting it out. They're just doing everything live, which is obviously a totally different beast.
I find streaming now beautiful. Like that shit is crazy. Like a person could just sit down and live stream themselves and just go crazy, obtain like hundreds of thousands of views just sitting there. And now I'm getting to that point, so I'm finna start doing that. But I feel like, I don't know, I couldn't pick like what's better between creating vlogs and streaming. I don't know, they both cool as hell.
Yeah, it's different. Two different ways to skin a cat, I guess. Okay, a couple more questions. When I see you, like you got a lot of nice, and before this relationship that you're in now, what is your thought process on like what you would do with a girl on the first date or the first time you hang out with them? Because you got all this nice, it's like, do you want to pull out the nicest car and like the nicest outfit and take them to the nicest restaurant the first time around? Or do you need to kind of like ease them into that?
I feel like it shouldn't be a such thing as a first date. You just got to vibe with a girl, see what she on first, versus why are you taking her on a date and you don't know about her? Get to know her. And then if y'all move past that stage, then y'all can go on a date. Why y'all out here taking girls on dates to impress them? Like, if that's the case, then she ain't for you.
It's super up too. Like I feel like podcasting killed dating for me because I was doing so much of this, and then I would go out with a girl and try to have an hour-long conversation with her over dinner or whatever, and just realize like this started. Like I can't do this. Like this is I had 10 conversations on camera this week. And this is the worst one. It's not on camera, but this is the worst.
Right.
And it's just tough to like, you know, because a lot of the hottest girls, like their personality never really develops.
Brick.
Yeah.
Literally.
Like, because they just don't have to become funny, interesting people because they have a million dudes that want to do everything for them.
Right.
So when you meet a hot chick who has a good personality, usually you should jump on it.
Fact.
Those are the ones who get wifed up super early on and are never single.
I don't know, man. All these girls are saying they don't want nothing but some money. But I can't say you are who you attract who you around. Like, if you around hoes, you going to attract hoes. Shit like that.
No, yeah, that's real.
I know people don't really ask you questions on your podcast.
Go crazy. What do you want to know?
How old are you?
40.
40? Okay. What how your mental like? You good?
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
For sure.
Yeah, because, you know, that's when I can tell how I'm good or if I'm not good is because right now, today, I have 3 podcasts in a row, about 6-7 hours of recording. I feel totally fine with it. When I'm not doing good mentally, I have to like prepare myself, and it's like a whole battle to go in there and actually like sit down and do that. Because either way, I'm doing this shit.
Right.
But yeah, like this, like I'll go home after this and I'll feel totally fine. And that's how I know that my mental health is in a good position right now.
Creators don't get that. Like, people don't really think. People think creators are robots. They don't think like motherfuckers human. Like, we go through the same. Go through our mental can go up and down just like y'all shit can. So I feel like every creator should focus on mental health first. That's why I wanted to ask that for sure. No,
that's definitely true. And for me too, it's also like coming in and knowing that I'm going to be sitting down doing 6 hours of interviews. It's like I have to like seal my brain off from everything else. I have to go on Do Not Disturb on my phone. I got to basically like block out every possible thing that I could be thinking about because I'm going to do a job of sitting here. If I'm just thinking about like, oh, what did this person text me, or I got to hit this person back or whatever, I got to just basically like be able to seal my brain off and just live completely in the moment while I'm having the conversation, which is, it can be a challenge, but that's like the best way to do a good job, I think.
For sure.